today, but a different map pool. We're going to kick things off on Mirage, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Complexity taking on NIP, and it will be a T-star for the Swedes, which is once again accurate with the return of in-game leader Hampus, who will be challenged towards middle by these USPs. Lovely opening kill.
Yeah, he saw that coming, and it's well played, and they're actually going to react to that almost immediately. Holzerk trying to take some shots in towards the B-bomb site. Config looking for an opening, but the smoke is up towards the market. The bomb is going to be planted, and it's a pretty swift 4 versus 5 for the retake here. Complexity in a lot of trouble right now. Grim with a good shot, but Elige has the kit, and he's only on 8 points of health. He's not going to matter. He gets absolutely run it down by Brolan there. Not bad. 2 versus 3 now, and the kit been picked up once again now. Floppy trying to find someone at the bench here. It's Hetrick to go down, and the retake's actually looking pretty good right now. A flashbang in. They're on that defuse. Putt is back is showing, and he has to come off, and that might just be the kill that seals the whole round. I don't think Holzerk is going to be able to find Hampus here. He's a smart player, and he's going to make himself very hard to find. Oh my god, he gets the kill, jumps right back on. Surely, Henry, surely there's not enough time, but there is. It's ridiculous.
I thought he was just going for it because there was nothing left to do. There was a kit on the bomb and literally 5 seconds to defuse it. He pulls it off. What a magnificent retake and finish from Holzerk. NIP had everything going for them. The B take with the opening frag, courtesy of Hampus, as we mentioned, and the retake looked like it was way too gone. Look at the time remaining at this stage at the top right of your screen. What was it left down to? 0.1 maybe?
It has to be so low. That the click of that bomb happened very early on in that last second, and that's usually what we're listening for, right? Like once you hear
that's
that
true,
takeover,
yeah.
You know that you probably lost the round.
Wow, what a way to kick things off. And we're right back into the action here. Round number 2 is delivering on all fronts. Holzerk and Elige will be combative toward the top of middle. They found. Here's NIP trying to recover the situation, pick up the pieces if possible. But they're pretty spread out. Got Reds towards underpass, Hampus top of middle. And Brolan, as you can see, in towards that palace position. He'll be dropped.
Yeah, bit of a shame. It's kind of a buy can work out for NIP, even if they don't get the round necessarily, but if they do enough economic damage, you can still walk away from it thinking it's pretty decent. Doesn't look like that's going to happen at all. Third kill for Elige in the round.
Yeah, this is very convincing, I have to say. Complexity with 4 players alive. Reds with just an MP9 at this point. Desert Eagle in hand for now. And 45 seconds on the clock, just hoping someone will offer themselves up here.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. Just a prayer at the moment. Doesn't seem like it's going to be answered whatsoever. They know where he is, and he's boxed in. He's decided, let me go for the 1 dig instead. It's just a 1 casualty in Holzerk. This is such a great start for Complexity.
Yeah, I love that push towards the top of middle. Seeing that a lot of this tournament, especially, try and trade out the frags. 2 CTs committing at the very start. You can see as Elige put the MP9 at the front of the pack as well. Upgrades to the M4. Continues to find frag after frag. Very active, and then Floppy to close things out here on Res. That was the 4 spy. As Anders said, only really got 1 kill. No bomb planted. Suggests we'll be on to a full eco, and indeed, that will be confirmed. P250s, no armor, no nades, and Elige in a prime position to pick up another boatload of frags here, Anders.
Yeah. Could do for the run boost. Maybe get something out of it. I think the smoke's going to be helping out, making sure Elige doesn't get easily overrun. Yeah, he's free to take the fight down in the underpass, which is great. So, an early, a couple of kills going the way of Complexity here. To be expected. I don't really think anything else is going to be seeing in this round.
All right. Well, seeing as that point is ringing true, Anders, I saw yesterday you were posting some screenshots of Overpass. What are your overall thoughts? Happy? Sad? Indifferent?
I am quite happy. I think the map looks... It's a lot more vibrant, which I think is true for most of the stuff in CS2 at the moment. And it's a lot brighter. So, like, seeing players is just going to be a lot easier, which I'm a big fan of.
Do you remember when CSGO first came out and we didn't have the SE version of maps? So you played like Dust 2 and have like this fog and this haze over the top of it, right?
Yeah.
It feels like the difference in CSGO and CS2 is like having that haze removed again, even though it wasn't really there before.
Yes.
So that the clarity is much higher. The brightness has been turned up. The contrast is perfect. And Overpass looks beautiful. I'm really looking forward to playing that.
I just don't think there's any value in a game like Counter-Strike of getting killed from dark corners where you can't really tell the difference between the player. I don't think it adds anything to the game. I think it's just frustrating, and the skill is in being able to wield and control the guns and knowing the geometry of the map and all the rest of it. Like, there's no point in saying, oh, I had the brightness turned down too low on my monitor. I needed to, like, you know, I needed to bump up the gamma so much that everything is just, you know, completely bright. Now the game is helping you with it. I think it's an upgrade in that sense.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of quality of life upgrades and good times. It seems like every update is positive and we're on an upward trajectory. Either way, though, we are off to the races here in round number 4. We have NIP looking for their first round if possible. Currently down 3-0. Got Floppy, who's playing out with the smoke, not looking for a kill, just looking for info. As soon as he spots the shadow, here's a sound cue. He'll be dropping the smoke and buying time. We've got Grim watching the palace otherwise, just behind him. So allowing NIP to have control of middle. And right now they've scooped at the bomb and they are in towards T spawn right now. Headtrick will at least make his way over towards the B apartments. And right now just JT there waiting with an HE. Quite active play. From Complexity, as you see, they're pushing in towards the A ramp, and Floppy, he's committed in towards spawns. They've got a ton of info here. They can probably afford to rotate someone over towards B, and indeed, Hulzerk making his way through the kitchen.
Yeah, this is a great play right now for Complexity. This could win them the first. Yeah, I mean, this is what you want to see. The Liege is holding it. JT just there with the AK trained on that window, and only 25 seconds left. Floppy's trying to get into the middle now instead of the hallway, and Broline gets the opening. Hold the phone. NIP, they're right in the bomb site. Elish has to come up with a massive multi-kill right now, and he runs out of bullets at the end. Config able to take him down, and Floppy, he's finally shown off that long flank in, and he gets there just in time to take down Hampus. 2 versus 2 now. They're going to find Grim, and they know where Floppy's coming from. They don't have a lot of health, so the FAMAS, it could do the work. Floppy could still be the hero. He's got the kit, and he lines up the first kill, but doesn't realize, I think, the Rez is right there. He's going to put up the smoke on the bomb, and Rez just circling around to take him down. And NIP winning around that positionally, they probably should have lost this one.
Definitely should have lost this one. It was looking like Complexity had done all the right moves there. They held on, hadn't given away any picks. The clock was running low. They pushed A. They've confirmed all the information. 3 CTs rotating towards the bomb site. But no, it's all denied. It comes down to a 1 versus 1. Rez getting 2 kills in the round. Definitely should have been going in favor of the North Americans. They've just stabbed each other in spawn as well. Grim's down to 55 points of health. It's going from bad to worse as they give it their first round. Still a full buy. M4s and the AWP as Grim, no, wounded by his fellow comrades. He'll be inquiring towards top and middle. And there is going to be config there on the right side.
Yeah, that's not in their brains right now. They're not thinking. I'm assuming there would be a flashbang still to set it up for the peak on config. Oh, he just goes straight for it. The timing could not have been better. And Grim, there's the spray down there with the
headshot.
The assist from the lead.
So now we know who done it. Who was the culprit, Elige?
Some good detective work, Henry.
Yeah, we cracked the case. Well, you hate to see that. We'll see if they can recover at least. Floppy will pull one back, and they are coordinating themselves in towards an A attack. Execution potential low with just 1 smoke, which has been deployed already. But they do have the manpower advantage, of course. 2 players at A ramp, brought on towards the palace. Config patrolling the rotations towards top and middle. So the Orpa Halls are in a prime position here. They can still pull this one back.
This is one of the maps where config does tend to run a little bit wild sometimes.
Yeah, this is one of his calling cards.
It really is. So that's something to look forward to. Always fun to watch those games. I think Holzer could have had that kill. I don't know what delayed him. Maybe it was the single scope. Either way, had Trick and Brawling coming back into the round now, making it a 1 versus 3. Holzer, he's in the right position, but they know that he's back here somewhere. They're going to plant way outside of the range of his scope. And they don't have, I mean, as long as they stay away from him, he can't probably get back into this.
Yeah, I think he might be onto something there. No kit, no utility.
Yeah.
If he was going to have any sort of impact in the round, it would have already happened, I'm afraid. He had a couple of shots towards the ramp, missed out on them. The flames of the incendiary were blocking the angle, and for now, can only really hold on to the AWP. And the hunt is somewhat on. We've got config encroaching on his position here from the B apartments, and he's going to have vision of that window momentarily. If Orzo keeps going back, he is going to be done for. Losing the AWP would be a big deal in terms of loss bonus. CTs will have $1,900 into the next round. So, oh, it's been found and will be dropped. No AWP going forward. So, unfortunately, this is full eco territory. $1,900 you can buy into the next round, but only if you take this one very cautiously and don't invest a single dollar. Here's the replay. Headtrick, Brolan getting it done, helping themselves toward that A bomb site. And it all falls apart. So they just buy a single flashbang, and usually you push off towards short and connector, flash over middle, try and get a couple of kills.
No one's knifed each other in this round.
No, that's a good start.
So that's where you want to be. Oh, they're actually pushing very aggressively, but Hampers saw it coming. The Molotov didn't necessarily do that much. Oh, he's going to keep it going. 3 kills, looking for a 4th, and he'll clean it up. That's actually a brilliant start for him. I'll certainly get him fired up. Haven't really seen the full Hampers effect since his return, which I don't think is too surprising, right? Like, everything has to be worked back up again, but he's such a playmaker when he's feeling really good. And I know he said in that interview that he was happy that he could throw Config into the mix as well, but I still want to see some of that Hampers magic, because he's one of the most enjoyable players to watch, I think, in Sweden. It's just so much fun.
Well, when he starts barking like a little puppy, that's when you know he's in the zone. Against EG, he spent most of the time barking like a dog, which I loved. So that's what you got to look out for. We'll
I missed this.
I know you did.
I'm so intrigued.
I hope it comes online for you. But we're just warming up here into the series, and same goes for Config as well. He lights up Elise to kick off round number 7 here. Vaulting up towards short as well. It's a lovely opening pick. Focuses his efforts towards the window, waiting for that reaction. And in terms of reaction, CTs stay pretty posted. They are watching the window, playing towards ladder room as well. Bomb still down towards T-spawn. Rez might be going to go scoop it up now. Config's patience pays off. He'll be taking down Horzerk.
Grim hoping for a multi-kill here, but not going to happen. Just spots out Config. But I like the patience anyway.
Yeah.
If someone else would have gone there, maybe he could have taken both of them down. Floppy's very low on health, but he can't escape. Hat-trick will run him down. And again, it's just the opening in the middle for Config, and the types of kills that he's getting here, he makes it look so easy. And I think it's really going to be a big problem for Complexity. At some point, they probably have to make up their minds. Do they want to find a way to deal with Config and find him here? Like, you can flash him out, you can try and throw some interesting Molotovs, or do you just concede the middle for an IP and say, well, let's not fight Config in there, it's not worth it. We'll try and come up with a different defense. Either way, I think Config's already proven to be a really, really big problem for Complexity.
Well, Complexity were trying to set the tone as well in those earlier stages. They showed us some mid-aggression as well, but yeah, when Config gets in the zone on this map, like we said, it's bit of a specialist showing for him normally on Mirage, but Complexity, unfortunately, this round will just be saving 2 M4s. Huddled up in the B apartments here.
Standing on the microwave.
Yeah, don't do that at home.
What's the best thing you can microwave, Henry?
The best thing?
Yeah.
I didn't use microwaves anymore. I'm retired. I'm a full-time air fryer.
That's...
Everything I consume
one of those.
goes in the air fryer.
Okay.
Literally everything. It's a new lifestyle I'm working on. And I have to say, I couldn't be happier, Anders.
It's really changed your life.
Yeah, microwaves are dead.
Okay. Well, if you want to live like Henry, there's a first step.
Yeah, use invest. Yet. Going to be taking a half buy, if you can call it that. Bit of an eco around these 2 saved M4s. But still, Grim and JT, we'll see what kind of dent they can make as we get into round number 8.
JT still with no kills. It's a bit early. I mean, we're 7 rounds deep. This is the 8th round that we're just playing now, but you'd still love to see just a couple, because JT definitely can do it. He definitely... I think at the start of it, when I saw him play, he looked like he was, not quite having the output that you want, but I've definitely seen games out of JT where he's doing a lot more recently, so we want to see him back on track like that. Floppy goes down early, a bit of a shame. And there we go. JT on the board right away. Config's going to be going down. Grenade to follow Grim, and it blows him up. And that's the 8 bomb side lost.
Yeah, that might be the round lost as well, I'm afraid. 4-on-2. JT and Elige fighting back to the best of their ability, but they are being overwhelmed. Elige will remain towards jungle. Bomb planted. Hope lost. And no armor. So Elige just hoping to find a Wandering T. Hopefully upgrade to an AK-47 and somehow survive. It's not looking good, though. So here comes Hampus, though. Almost certainly going to check him, right?
Yeah. I feel like he's one of those players that would. So no AK stolen, no nothing like that. 5 rounds for NIP. I just managed to say that it was a good start for Complexity. Then they started to knife each other, and then...
Yeah, that was the start of the issues here for Complexity. You're dead on. A knife in spawn was an old school mistake. You don't really see it too often in 2023. Here we go. That's the beginning of the barking, Anders. You can see he's getting warmed up. We're not quite there yet. It's when they start talking shit.
More of a howl, really.
Yeah, when they start talking shit, that's when the barking starts. So we'll see. This is a faster approach. They're going for an A-pop straight away, Anders. Let's go.
Nice shot, but look at how quick they are. You said A-pop, and he couldn't even escape. Config just swings onto the bomb site. He is a wrecking ball, isn't he?
Yeah.
Opens the whole thing up, and Rez waiting in the middle. This couldn't be better. Config finds another stray kill on a leash. I think that's... He's still running, Henry. He just run all the way into the market. He never stopped running, hungry for the kills, and he will get them. He is such a beast.
This is the team that you need to be scared of. If Config and Rez are hitting hard, good luck to you. There's not many players that can out-aim them. But it's just the inconsistency of those two names is the problem. But when it's on, it's a beautiful thing to watch. You can see the sledgehammer breaching the A-bomb site. There you go. I'm going to start barking as well. If he gets into it, I'm going to be barking. Let's go.
Is it possible that he's responding to barking emotes? Is that a...
Yeah, could be. He could be getting donations.
There might be...
Hundreds of gifts of dogs coming through, perhaps.
If he's double timing it like that, like if he's working 2 jobs at once, an amazing little hustle that he's working on.
Yeah. Well, back to the A-bomb side potentially here. They entered with emphatic pace in previous round of number 9. This time looks to be an A split, but slowing it right down. But a similar sort of approach. This time, though, 1 player towards the Palace, 2 a ramp, and 2 entering the connector. Hampus leading that charge.
3 people, but the position here is... Man, if they lose connector control, which they almost already have, then all 3 positions are compromised by that 1 push-up connector. It's going to be brawling them in the first one, but I think both Floppy and Grim at this moment are in a lot of trouble here. With the Molotovs down on top, realize they don't have a lot to work with to begin with, but still, they are going to get blown up. You really needed to make sure that there was no pressure from the middle at all, and maybe you could have traded something there, but the Scout and the Deagle are left, and it's a 2 versus 4, so unlikely that they could do a lot to hold on to this one.
I think that's fair. You're well within your rights to call that one.
Yeah, going out on a limb here, saying probably lost that round.
Well, let's see if they can make it somewhat expensive at least. I doubt it. Hampus looking to mow both of these last players down, and he'll convert convincingly. Well done. NIP now with 7 rounds in a row after going down 0-3.
Here's something cool. They had that previous round where they popped out of A, like you said, out of the Palace, they catch Holzerk. And this round, they guessed the economy, they played a lot more slowly, which I think is important. As much as I appreciate the madness of Config running through the map, it's really nice if there are like a couple of rounds where you can put a leash on him and say, this just don't throw away the A, don't do anything silly, like just play it a little bit slow.
That pincer maneuver towards A, perfectly timed, nothing too flashy from a tactical point of view, but they made sure they had decent territory before committing, trading out any kills, and they wanted to try and go for a B pick there. Molotoved off, just going to go back into the default, I'd imagine. We haven't had to say Hetrick's name too much, and that's absolutely fine. They've won 7 rounds in a row. That could be a problem for Complexity, because once he does start coming online as well, this team hits a lot harder. But for now, a pretty compromised setup. You can see a distinct lack of utility for Complexity. They've got the rifles, a couple of kits, and a Holzerk off. First challenge towards Shaw. Hampus will send a Molotov to send Grim packing.
They're on the other side there. Floppy actually taking a bit of damage. Elise goes down. There's a headshot to bring him to an end.
He's been getting picked a lot, Elise.
He really has. Floppy's next. They were trying to crunch the middle. They wanted to team up with Floppy and Connector from the other side, but they're so compromised in the middle. Good grenade and a good AWP shot from Holzerk to bring them back at least into a 3-on-2. But JT, I mean, he's almost dead already.
And they know where he is as well. They're very aware of his presence towards Shaw. That's a guaranteed frag. Like, you're really hoping for the best, crawling through the murder hole with an AWP in your hand. And yeah, like I said, they know JT was towards Shaw. He rotated back towards Kitchen. He's done for. And it will be NIP converting another convincing round here. Hampus, 2 frags for him. We'll have a look at the scoreboard. It's actually the in-game leader at the very top. Hampus 14, Config 11. Rez, Headtrick, and Broadline all on 6. So JT holding on for dear life, but it's not going to be enough as Hampus will find his hat-trick. 8 rounds in a row confirmed. Pretty subdued over there. Not too much yelling in the arena. It is the first map of the day.
And no barking either.
No, exactly.
I was promised barking.
You were. It's coming, though. You can't give the people what they want straight away.
It'd be an absurd brand to build for yourself, but I would encourage
human dog?
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Surely you stand out in the crowd, right? No one else is going to be doing that, so I think he's onto something, Hampus. I support it.
He should be wearing like a little dog collar as well. That'd be quite nice.
That could be like branding, like merch
exactly,
happening.
NIP branded dog collars.
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good look, I reckon.
Good advice.
Here we go. Elise dishing out the headshots this time. He's been picked off first, more often than not, but that's a lovely start here on the half buy. Something to work with. There hasn't been many opportunities in the last 8 rounds, but still, up against this full buy, of course, a lot of work to do, but it's a good start.
Yeah, it is a good start. And I mean, sometimes that's all it takes. One inspiring round where somebody gets a couple of sick deagle headshots.
Oh, absolutely.
You feel better again. You feel like you can return to the game. I'm sure that's what they're waiting for. Good dodge of the double nade in the middle for Config. He didn't run into any of that. They've recovered the AK as well. That's a bit alarming. Something for Complexity to work with. Looks like they are moving the bomb into the B hallways. And with Hampus still in the middle, question is, will he join the main push to pincer the B bomb site, or will he just be there to catch rotations in the middle? You can go for either one. He's moving kind of close, so it seems like he will try and see if he could be a little bit of a factor in it. 30 seconds left, Henry. How much stopping power is in this deal for Grim?
I reckon quite a lot. I'm a big fan of Grim. Not sure about his deagle, but we'll see what he can make of it. It's an iconic position, one you don't see too often, and maybe for good reason, as he will be pre-fired by Config. JT, the last line of defense here. He needs multiple frags. The first is delivered. Can't find the second, I'm afraid, and it's going to be back to a 3-on-3. And the hope of winning an eco round is diminishing. As we'll see, Headtrick confirm the kill towards short as well. They've got an AK in the hands of Elige. He's been boosted up at least, Anders. Not a bad idea, but I don't see how you win the round, and Headtrick, well, he'll be very aware of that prospect.
I don't blame them for trying, and they get to run away with the AK anyway, so probably okay. But yeah, good conversion for NIP, even losing the first kill there. Just, you know, they took their time. They got everyone into position, and Complexity, they weren't able to help out. The 3 people at the A bomb side, they couldn't get to B quick enough. I don't know. Yeah, you could make an argument that if you're in a round like that, you need to be almost over-rotating at one bomb side or another, because it's so unlikely that you win the round just with Grim defending with a deagle up close in the hallway. 9 in a row. They just can't be stopped at NIP right now.
Apparently not. At least not by Complexity, as they are rolling over right now. It was a half buy in the previous, of course. They got the opening pick, though. Couldn't find much else. This is that shot from Elige. Nice job. Grim had to find multiple kills there. JT was only good for 1. And NIP is going through the motions here. So that's how he was aware. Did get a little spot of the boots of Elige. Oh, we're getting there. That's a 6 out of 10 on the Barco meter. So he's warming up the vocal cords. You heard it, didn't you?
I'm so behind it. I'm so into it now. I'm very invested.
Towards B we go. Hulzerg. Perfect position. Nice simple calls here from Hampus. It's time the B split.
Good position for Hulzerg. You could see them. If they slither by in there, you're definitely going to be able to call that out and say, yeah, someone made their way past. Flash does nothing.
Trouble.
And he's ice cold. It doesn't over-peek it into it. He's just chilling up there, getting the first kill. Grim will follow it up on a Config. And that defense is looking good. Even JT on the other side, who's picked up the secondary AWP, will take down Rez. So this is looking great. Complexity.
Yeah. They're going to break the streak finally. The problem is,
it's a bit late.
It is a little bit late, but you know what? They just keep this one clean. Thing is, though, Headtrick, Hampers have got $14,000 per player. So there'll be no saving here. They'll try and make it as expensive as possible. If they can get 2 or 3 kills, that's a bit of a win in its own right in the context of this particular situation. See if you can, like, eradicate the double AWP setup.
Yeah, that would be huge. I mean, and that's a good point to bring up. There's always some secondary target that you can hit, even if winning the round is out of reach for the minute. Just doing a little bit of damage will go a long way. JT, though, confident with the AWP. It's good to see.
Yeah,
and,
well,
I mean, this is a common solution on a lot of CT sides, right? You get the double AWP and things change.
Yeah, like if everything's just falling apart for you, especially on a map like Mirage as well, when the defaults and the mixed aggression and you're getting pulled around the map, just setting up a turret in towards the B bomb side, allowing one player to really focus on that area, allow you to be more dynamic elsewhere, certainly helps. Normally presented when things are going wrong, the wheels are falling off, but it works out. That's what it's there for.
Something that can be very hard to deal with if JT's going to be anchoring this position, if they throw in a round like they did earlier with the triple peek out Palace and the speed behind Config, I wonder if at some point NIP will want to test that. Not that we have too many rounds left to play with, but wouldn't be surprised if I bet if you sent Config out against JT, Config would feel so confident if I say, like, I can win that fight every single time.
Yeah, it's a good point.
He's trying to use that same strategy that he did earlier, Config, running into the middle, hiding along that left-hand side wall, just hoping that someone makes a mistake. But Complexity actively not pursuing the middle anymore. They're tired of losing that fight.
Well, they've gone for an up-close and personal setup here towards the A ramp. Horzog with the AWP, Floppy watching the Palace, and they could get a bit of action here. There's 3 players in the Palace once again, so it's not that fast A-pop we saw before, but a different rendition. We are going to see the execution towards A, probably just a couple of smokes, mainly focusing on the flashbangs from middle. I'm going to try and swarm the A site, and the problem is there's no one towards CT spawn where you're likely to focus your aim. They're at the A ramp, so Floppy has a chance to get multiple frags around us.
Yes, he does. 50 seconds, but the problem is, if they lose the connector fight, these positions for the rest of Complexity, for Horzog and for Floppy, are so bad. They can really switch. I like this from Horzog, though, trying to switch it up. I don't know how he got that kill. He was looking the other way. What a flick, but it won't make a difference. Elige dies in connector, and Floppy, they are looking for it. You could see they are thinking about that A ramp right now. They feel like something could be up, and they're not wrong either. They're going to find Grim on the other side. They still have 23 seconds, and Floppy, he's the only one that can stop it, but the Molotov is down to make sure that he doesn't. They're so sure that he must be here.
Yeah, that Molotov doesn't feel good. Suggests they might have an inkling as to what you're up to. Unfortunately for Floppy, he'll be sent packing. So after winning a single round, after breaking the 9-round streak, NIP will answer straight back, get double digits. JT trying to hold on to the AWP, and Floppy is being hunted. Captain Hampus on his trail. He's picked up a scent.
Yeah, he's looking for it, isn't he? Floppy. Oh, that is a beautiful shot. Well done, Floppy. At least at the end, you know, saves his own dignity a little bit. That first shot especially was great.
Very nice. Doesn't mean too much, but he holds the AK-47, I suppose, for the upcoming round, the last round, 10-4 now. Yeah, they've got plenty of cash. He can drop a weapon, so it's certainly a welcome save for sure. The double AWP setup might remain as well. So, yeah, this is the moment of Horzog, like he said. Great first shot, but not really in a position to get multi-frags here. This was the highlight of the round, and it was to save the AK. So
yes.
That says it all, really. Elige having a bit of a rough run of it out there.
Yeah, looking a bit dejected, isn't he?
Yeah, 7-12 right now. Only one player has broken double digits. That's Floppy after saving with those 2 kills. Aggression in middle. Timing looks good. And the first frag is excellent. Grim should be on for the double here as well. Yeah, catches NIP with their pants around their ankles.
Almost literally just trying to do their boost, but they fell off it, and then the grenade started landing, and it was just pure misery on the side of NIP, unfortunately for them. But Complexity, they need every single round. I mean, at 5 rounds, you can obviously make a comeback from that position, and maybe you can shake it off, especially if they win the pistol in the second half. So I actually think for Complexity, this round is incredibly important right now.
Yeah. Really need to have to convert this one. It's just before halftime as well, before you get like 3 minutes to stew over the previous round. If you give up a 5-on-3 here, yeah, this is nightmare fuel. Have to win this one. Thing is as well, NIP know they've got plenty of time. They're operating in the trifecta of doom, walking together, looking for fights.
Very choreographed at the moment, aren't they? I like it. A little triangle going on. 40 seconds. Actually, are far back on the map. How do you find an isolated kill in this scenario? There's one that you could have found, but again, the distance on that AWP just making it a very unfair fight. Also starting to have a little bit more of a showing. He's up to 10 kills now as well, so in the double digits. Elige just putting some shots through, and it's Grim to go down. Hampus doing a little bit of damage. It should be too late. This should be a lost round pretty much no matter what. 18 seconds on the clock here, and Brolan, he's going to be on his own. Found by Floppy. 10-5 at the end of it. NIP still with the
flat. They got the 3-0 start, bear in mind as well. 2 rounds to follow it up. Losing key picks at the start of every single round. We need a hell of a pistol here to start believing. 5 rounds is doable, of course, but we'll see how this one kicks off. A 4-man stack, I believe, from NIP here. That's towards B.
Yeah, and Brolan is just here to get headshots. Just stay alive, try and get one headshot to make the retake a little bit more manageable. they do have not just the kit, but the smoke on res. And that smoke is going to be so pivotal for any potential defuse. Now, they need the headshots to get back into it, obviously, but we've seen it before. You can sometimes win around like this, even in like 2v5s, as long as you get that smoke down, because it's so hard to stop the defuse inside of it in a pistol round. Like, the Glocks just aren't really the same thing. Brolan's going to get the headshot on Holzerk, and that sets it off. The retake is now on. Config is in with the flank. This could be a spicy round, Henry.
It really could be. The defuse is already underway. I think they've done it. I think that's enough. Anders, oh, you called it to perfection. It's this smoke and defuse combo. We're seeing it so often on Mirage. Yesterday it was Carrigan in the 4 versus 1, and today NIP is making it look easy. And yeah, it's a good point, right? Especially on Mirage as well. It's such an open plan. You've only got Glocks, and they went 3 players in towards jungle. As soon as that smoke comes in, there's a 5-second defuse as well. Of course they're going to grab it. And we can see Rez, comfy as you like, with 3 players up as well. They can't believe it. Just asking what in God's name just happened to them. And there we have it. A very underwhelming start for Complexity. A 5-on-5 post-plant scenario, and then it's get diffused on. That is going to hurt. They will force buy, at least. AKs, Galils.
That's probably a protocol that's worth having for a team, like a conversation to say, in these rounds, we need somebody who is near enough by for that plant, and just, you know, like a ramp. That's the only job that person has, is to stop that from happening, because it's not that rare. And obviously they were pushed very, very far away and just weren't able to do anything at all. Grim and Floppy are left here, but Headtrick having a great time of it. You said didn't see too much of him with the AWP in the first half, but that's because Config and Hampus were doing so much work that they didn't really need him. And now he's got the M4. And he's getting a little bit on the board himself. 12-5, NIP. They look fresh right now.
Fresh, happy, relaxed. I would say that's accurate. And unfortunately for Complexity, that was the force by Anders. Because now you're going to be operating with Glocks, maybe a couple of Deagles, and you'll be 13-5 down. Oh. Not now, Elise. Early to keep the honeymoon going.
Yeah. Can't start.
We've only just checked in. Yeah, we just checked in. There's an all-you-can-eat buffet.
Yeah. Honeymoon suite, and you're already bickering over small things. Like, did you put the toilet seat up?
Definitely, that was me. All right then. Like we said, full eco. Not much to talk about, I'm afraid. JT and Holzerk with the impossible task. 5-on-1 now with the Glock.
Something's been on my mind, Henry.
Yeah.
For
dangerous now.
What kind of dog would Hampus be? If
well, on the barking he's done, I would say it kind of encapsulates like a Chihuahua sort of vibe. The barking he does,
small dog.
Yeah, it's a small yappy dog, but a lovable one. You know, it's not going to bite you.
And a bit aggressive at times.
It's a bit aggressive, but it's play biting. You know, just kind of grabbing onto your trouser leg.
Okay.
So yeah, I'll go with a little Chihuahua.
Well, there's a Photoshop challenge for people out there if anyone's interested. There's something that we work with.
It's a good point. Hopefully we'll get some more sound cues to go with it. But round number 19. Ready to go. Holzerk won't have a helmet with his AWP here. Seeing the financial woes of round 19. And this is a problem for Complexity now. NIP have a huge buffer of rounds. Players like Config, we said, are synonymous with mid-aggression on Mirage. And you're seeing it on your screen right now. Not overstepping the mark. He's holding the off angle here. AK-47, he knows he's got a massive opportunity to open things up. He'll do so, but JT will find him with a trade.
And that's important, right? That they needed that really badly for Complexity. Any dreams of a comeback have to start in this round. Otherwise, I think NIP are just way too close to the finish line. Molotov on the one side. You could see Trick was thinking that there could have been a second grenade coming his way, so he's a little bit worried about it. Now the timing is actually in his favor by quite a bit. Did Grim see that? Did he see the top of his head? He probably does now. So yeah, they're going to be well aware. They do have another grenade, but they're going to do it the old-fashioned way. Just Elige with the AK, check in the corner. And it's a 4 versus 3. Complexity on the right track for now.
For now. Could be many twists and turns on this journey, Anders. As they do make their way in towards Connector. Brolan on the other side. FAMAS in hand. Deploys the second smoke. A very powerful one, but it's been nullified. Floppy's activated from the Palace position. That should be round. Rez, top of middle. Hampus in towards B. Complexity break the streak in the second half, at least after going down 0-3. It's going to be 13-6 overall.
Bit of a shame that he got shot in the back there, because if that Molotov would have kept, or the smoke would have kept them, behind there for like 16 seconds-ish, then Rez could have got there, right? That was the timing. So it actually would have been fun to see that play out, but Floppy, good kill, cancelled it out.
He absolutely does. That kill was everything. Brolan had locked him out. They had 3 players in towards that connected position. Money's still pretty good for the Swedes, however, and they'll be saving an AWP and an M4 as well. So that's not an issue, but Complexity, pretty decent round. 4 players alive and well. As the bomb is confirmed, Hunt is called off. That money is not amazing. They were fully invested into this round. But there we have it. The long, arduous task of getting back into this first map. This begins right here, right now, on the T side as well, Anders.
In terms of kills, though, I would say Complexity, they actually have more on the board than I was really expecting. So there probably is something in this that, even if it is a big gap, they could probably do it here. Some of the players are starting to get a little bit warmed up. You can see Floppy's up there with 12 kills. Horser's got 11, 10 on Elige. For a long time in that first half, none of them were even near double digits, and now they're starting to get there. And even Grim and JT are both at 8 kills, so there's something warming up inside of the Complexity team. Now, the problem always is, obviously, when you're this far behind, do you have the runway to actually get there? Like, you don't have a lot of mistakes to make here, so... But it feels like Complexity, maybe a bit of a slow start, but I could see a potential comeback into a better scoreline here.
Well, we've been commending their T sides throughout this tournament. We've casted a couple of their maps, and yeah, it was always
a good point, yeah.
The T side executions, the default, the mid-round calling. Everything looked fantastic. They can get in the zone. If they can break the economy down of NIP, yeah, there's absolutely a chance. Do I think they win the map? No. Do I think they can make a decent dent here, get us double digits, make it competitive? Absolutely. As we'll see, round number 20 underway. It was NIP that took the tactical timeout, and it will be Config that goes down first. Wanted to throw that HE, but he is caught through the smoke and the wall as they crack things open here towards middle.
That's a familiar Counter-Strike experience for a lot of people at home. You just want to throw that one grenade.
One last grenade, yeah.
That's what kills you every single time. No, it really isn't. But he gave it a shot and came up a little bit short here. Hampers with a flash in the sky and a swing. If actually they would have been completely flashed, that could have been such an insane spray down, but it didn't work out.
Yeah, if even a couple of them got blind, could have done something with it, but wasn't meant to be. And a nice, fast-paced round from Complexity yields another. That's going to be 5 players surviving as well.
They've been a bit muted here on the NIP side. There's no barking anymore. You know what they say, Henry? It's the dogs that don't bark that really give the game away. Like,
yeah, is that what they say?
Like in Sherlock Holmes.
They're the ones that give the game away. What game exactly?
It's a bit of a torture reference. I don't know if it completely, But yeah, I have to come up with. So they do pay me money to be here, Henry. So I feel like I have to. Some
money has been exchanged.
I have to do something.
So, well, Complexity, they're doing all sorts. This is looking like the start of the recovery. Maybe getting ahead of myself, saying a good recovery, the start of one. A couple of rounds in a row. Some nice mixture of pacing. Did get the opening kill through the smoke. I'm not sure that's going to be sustainable, but it all counts, and lovely shots coming in from Floppy. Starting to see him get into the map slowly but surely. 13-7. The problem is for Cole is that NIP are saving a load of weapons each and every time, like 3 rifles. Yes. So they've still got a full buy here and money to spare. So they've managed the economy really well, and this is a 5-man execution off the bat. We're seeing a lot of this tournament. Kind of went out of fashion for a while, these set pieces from the get-go, but they are back in vogue.
And Org as well on Brolan. I mean, the setup right now for NIP is pretty good for this kind of execute. They have 3 people nearby, almost a 4th in head trick, and they could just slow play this, look for the after plant, but Brolan's out there swinging, and he's going to get the first kill. Grim will take him down in return, but he did take a little bit of damage for it. Timing here on Config, just trying to see if he can find the burst through. It's Rez sneaking in on top of the ticket booth to get the kill on Grim, and he's just going to escape afterwards, so no bomb plant for the minute.
What a kill that is from Rez. High and mighty on the ticket booth, denies a plant, and that is a nightmare scenario now. Need to recover that bomb. Find the kills on Rue. Holzok will get the first, no problem. That's Config. Painting himself into a corner. Looks like another frag for Elige as well, doing so much damage. Players in towards CT spawn, 3 of them, ready and waiting. The leap up is denied, and it's man advantage for Complexity.
And the bomb plant attempted once again, and this time they're really holding that CT spawn position. Elige waited a long time. There were no teammates that had any grenades. He knew that there was someone in the corner, but they had no Molotovs, no flashbangs, no nothing. So Elige had to wait. He just sat around for a long time, and the patience paid off at the end of it. You got to give it to him. That's a round that they could have screwed up there.
Oh, yeah.
Especially the way that the flashes came in for NIP.
Like, remember, like, Red's got that amazing kill jumping up the ticket booth, denies the plant. It looked like they had the round in the bag, but they didn't panic. Just pump the brakes, wait for those opportunities, wait for a CT to overstep the mark. Config got dropped to Liege in position, and just to spray them down. So, again, though, saving the weapons. Loss bonus starting to rack up now as well. So they'll be getting, I believe, $2,400 per player into this next round. So even with the save them 4, the AWP, losing 3 in a row, they can still buy. And we'll see. This is where I thought they actually had the round in the bag. Roland, after getting that quick kill, like so early on, I would say, if you're playing it by the book, drop off, wait for your teammates at that stage. He overcommits maybe a little bit, goes down. That wasn't the reason they lost it. And we're just going to be taking a half buy around this weapon, which is absolutely fine, considering they've still got the buffer, still got the breathing room.
Yeah,
to 8.
It's a nice position to be in for NIP in the sense that, you're right, they did save so many rifles in some of the early losses, so it's more of a slow descent than just a complete crash of the economy. And now they're being picked up again by the loss bonus, so they're going to have a round here where it's not that impressive, but then they're going to be straight back into it again. So Complexity really have to fight through these rounds. Normally, especially in the current economy, right, if you're on the T side, you win a couple of rounds, you get a couple of, free rounds where you're just up against USPs and you're going to be fine. But that hasn't really been the case. They've actually really had to struggle for it, Complexity, to win these rounds. And last time I said they execute, this time it's B, and the Deagle, it won't be able to stop them quite. Hetrick with a good shot, and he gets one more bullet off, but he was very committed to the fight. And now it's just the M4 on Rez. He's burning, running for the flames. He does take down Elige and hiding in the corner. Conflict, the whole thing has turned on its head. And now it's just JT left. 1 versus 3. The bomb is lost. An absolute disaster.
Config was there the entire time, waiting for his moment to strike. Not getting any better for JT. They know exactly where he is now. Double AWP recovered. M4 in hand for Rez. This round is going in favor of NIP. It was going oh so well after losing the pistol, going down 0 and 3. Complexity managed to get a hat-trick of rounds themselves. But it all comes crashing down against the Deagles. The B-stack. Hetrick with 2 pretty magnificent frags, all things considered. He really took his time in the second as well. Wanted to ensure that kill came through, which it did in the nick of time. And even if he does find 2 kills here, JT can't win this round, unfortunately. He'll be dropped. And NIP, 1 step closer to victory here.
Give it to Rez as well, standing in the flames to open it back up, and he drew all the attention away from Conflict in doing that. Kind of hard to push through. I thought he was going to completely burn all the way to the end here, but yeah, Hetrick, obviously you're right. Opening here is really sick. Just not even ready at all. 14-8. And that's the problem with having that huge deficit at the start of the half, is that clawing your way back into it now, suddenly it feels again like, ooh, we probably lost the map. It's going to feel
the thing is,
bad.
Well, at this level and against the players you've got in NIP, like your configs, your reses, your Hetricks, that the sort of players are going to steal away those sort of rounds. They're going to have some magnificent individual form. They're going to have some Deagle wins. Like, you have to prepare for it. So you're dead on. If you have a huge deficit against you, those sort of rounds are the ones that really break your back.
I think they stole both the AWPs. So yeah, they already had the round loss bonus, so that they already had like quite a bit. Obviously winning the round is great, but now you steal 2 AWPs and an
like
AK.
$10,000 into your economy.
That's a lot of money. Classic setup here for Config. That smoke, if you ever see that smoke on the T side coming in, you should know that someone's playing exactly this one way. We're not looking for it. Elige is down there. Nice stink. That's all you need. And Hamper sounding off with the AWP. That might just confirm it a little bit for Complexity. If there were any doubt, they might just think, okay, that probably means that the double AWP is in effect. Also, it falls as well. It never even got the shot off in return. This is a bit concerning now.
Yeah, it is a little bit. They'll continue with their assault towards the A-bomb side, but they are dropping like flies here, Anders. 2 kills, make it 3 found for NIP. Floppy and JT will do their absolute best here to deny map point, but it feels like Mirage might be done and dusted, as they would say. And so they won't have the loss bonus going forward. money will be incredibly low. They're going to get $1,900 per player in the next round on top of pretty much zero. So JT with hope and a prayer here. Hoping he can find 3 kills, maybe get a bomb plant. Not going to happen. And NIP continue to move forward in cruise control.
Hetrick's up to 17 kills.
Yeah, and he didn't perform in their first outing. If you're not aware, this is the rematch. These two teams was the opening game. And Complexity won 2-1. And it was one of the great showings of Elise. He had the number 1 stats in the tournament after their matchup. But Hetrick, he was non-existent. He didn't turn up to that game whatsoever, which was surprising. It was even like massive misses on his side. But as the tournament's gone through, he's come to life. I think he dropped 43 frags on Inferno in their second series, which I believe was against EG. So yeah, the fact that he's found some tournament for everyone operating between, what, 14 and 17 frags.
That's, you'd love to see that, don't you? Really good stuff. Round number 24.
Should be ending here, I would say, considering they're operating with, what, Galil's, 1 AK, 2 Tech 9s, but you never know. Difficult to find out round number 16, and Hetrick, well, he's confirmed that fact. He goes down quickly.
Yeah, he does get the leg shot onto Holzerk, so I mean, in his mind, probably would have been a kill right there. Jumping orc shot doesn't connect. Luckily, that would have been breaking the internet for a day or two. 4 versus 4 as Rez finds the kill on Holzerk, who was low from early. You see the assist from Hetrick there. And Complexity, they got some opening here, but
whoops,
they need to keep it going. Yeah, good spam.
Well, a chance, a lifeline. I need a life raft at this point. Mirage has spiraled out of control for Complexity. Config on the hunt. He looks very confident right now. If he checks this deep angle, he's got a guaranteed frag. Ali's ready for him, though. Good patience.
A bit curious to see Config move around that much, because look at Brolan and Hampus. They were both on the extremities of the map. Would have said for Config, maybe just give it a rest for a round or two. Got himself killed, unfortunately. But Brolan's position is still very interesting. Now, you can tell they're looking at the palace there. They are aware that something could be going on up there. But with 30 seconds left, how do you do this? Hampus missing a shot. If he can win this fight, he can actually maybe get to help out Brolan. 25 seconds left, Henry. They're running right into a nice little jump. I think they realize, but he still gets an insane flick. And now Hampus showing up. He can't get the kill with the grenade, but JT is in a lot of trouble right here. Just cowering behind the box. Good headshot. He comes out with it. A triple for JT as one in the round. If he doesn't get that one, they're in a lot of trouble.
That one was a bit of a wacky finish, wasn't it? I wasn't sure which way that was going. Hampus with a grenade as well. I thought he might do enough. This is the opening frag. Hetrick trying to close things out. And speaking of which, you can see Config a little bit apprehensive to do the same thing as well. Hunting, looking for frags, and met his demise towards that window room. As we'll see NIP with another full buy here. But Complexity win this round is double digits. He'll break the economy of the CTs. This is the round to do it. There's going to be a conversation as to whether you can bring this one back. It starts here, and it's gone horribly wrong. 3 kills found for NIP Anders.
Yeah, he used the same one way down the middle config, and then obviously had Trick with a double kill down in the underpass, and that is probably going to put an end to it here for Complexity, unfortunately. Again, they get up to 9 rounds, but that, well, was it 9 rounds that NIP won in the first half in a row? Something
yes,
like that?
They were 3-0 down. They got 9 in a row, and then they got 1 more, so it was 10-5 total. Which sounds like a reasonable scoreline, but bear in mind, NIP were on the T side, and they lost the pistol.
Yes.
So, yeah, not a great start, but it is the map pick of NIP, and overpass next standards, which I said, that's when we'll see the tactical prowess come out. That's when we'll see Complexity show us how good they are on their T side, and that's where they'll be starting as well, considering it's their pick.
True, yeah. We'll see how this plays out. Flobby and Holzerk, 55 seconds, but need more than a couple of miracles here to make it work. It's not going to be even closer to flawless round in the end. And NIP will win Mirage. Never really